This is a video if you feel that you are lacking motivation, if you don't feel you have the drive necessary in order to accomplish all the things that you want, watch this video. Because I went from someone 3 years ago and beyond who was just very unmotivated. I had no killer instinct within me to someone now who wakes up with fire blood. I attack the day with tenacity and I can work 14, 16-hour days sometimes if I need to. And it's not even just about the work, it's about the mentality that I have, the drive that I have, the motivation to go out and conquer and achieve everything that I want to achieve. So if that sounds like something that you want in your life, then watch this video. And this is going to be especially true if you are a guy. I can't speak for girls, but I know exactly what a guy should be doing. And one of the first things that you need to do as a guy is you need to remove all the vices. And a big one is going to be porn and masturbation. That will kill your drive like nothing else. I can go on this topic for days, but the reason that this one's going to be huge is because you need to think back to biologically. You have been put on this planet to reproduce. If you're mentally reproducing by watching porn and giving yourself that stimulation, telling your body that you have no further purpose, then that's what your body and your mind is going to put forward in your life. But if you're retaining that and you're only focusing on having like sex in real life or just completely refraining from any of that, you are going to have so much motivation and drive that this is going to 10x whatever you're currently experiencing. So that's going to be the first thing and the first tip I'm going to tell you. Beyond that, you need to start experiencing pain and valuable pain. And I don't mean go out and do something dumb like hurt yourself or anything like weird. I'm talking about pain from failed relationships, from failed businesses, from past trauma that you've had. You need to use that pain as your motivation. And if you're lacking serious sources of pain, it's probably because you're living a very risk-free, mediocre, average life. 3 years ago, when I started taking risks and I started living the life that I wanted to, it also came with a lot of pain. I started moving between 3 different areas, Florida, New York, and Sweden. And as this is a luxury, and I'm extremely blessed to do this, there's actually a lot of pain that comes with that. I have failed, or I've had at least now 3 failed relationships when I'm in my Sweden area because I have to leave and go back to Florida and do things like pursue a business or just go back home to spend time with my family. And I've lost out on so many relationships with the most beautiful 10 out of 10 feminine, great, like genuine, good-hearted girls. And I've lost those and that shit sucks. So you got to take that and use it as your fuel and your pain. I failed so many businesses from when I was 14 years old, trying stocks, Amazon FBA, Instagram theme pages. The list can go on. But I've tried so many things and those all failed. And that each one of those is a little bit of pain that you can use as motivation. So when you stop trying to hide from pain and you start trying to experience the world in its fullest and all the emotions that come with it, that is also going to give you a shit ton of motivation. And you can also reframe the way you think about things. I just read this book recently from Tony Robbins about neurolinguistic programming. And one of the big things he talks about is reframing the way you view things. So one of the things you can do is just reframe your motivation. So if you don't have the girlfriend of your dreams, that you can turn into your biggest source of motivation, especially if you get on NoFap and stop fucking wasting your energy. Also, if you don't have all the money in the bank account that you want, you can use that and reframe it as your source of motivation. But you got to really learn about these things. It takes personal development. It takes time to learn and read and actually learn how to implement these things. But the biggest thing you need to be doing is you need to be finding your why. Because a why, like the reason why you're doing something, will drive you beyond anything else possible. For example, last year I was in Sweden and there was a clear moment when I decided that I wanted to be a business owner. I was sick of being broke. I'd done sales jobs, I'd make some good money, and then I would usually just quit them and then enjoy life for a bit. I really wasn't headed anywhere in life and I had no purpose. And that last time I was in Sweden, I actually didn't work at all besides doing some trading. I made decent money, but nothing crazy, nothing like what I want. And during that time, I decided that I wanted to be a business owner. And it's funny, it was actually because one of the girls I was seeing, she went on a vacation in Spain. And although I know she didn't do anything, but she went on a rich guy's boat who was a business owner. And that's all it took. And she told me this and she said it out of innocence. And I know she didn't do it in any like malicious way. But she was just like, yeah, and we were on this boat and they invited us on, and she was telling me how the guy had 2 watches, like 2 really nice like Rolexes or something. I was like, fuck this dude. It's that masculine imperative that girls just won't understand, and that's why they say these things. But I was like, fuck this dude. I didn't really want to rock 2 watches at the same time, because she said, even she was like, that's fucking retarded. But I didn't want to do that. But I wanted to have the yacht. I wanted to have girls coming on my boat. And the fact that she went on his boat and it wasn't my boat was enough for me to say, you know what, fuck it. I'm going all in on business this year. And I actually failed for about 7 months. The first business, actually 2 businesses I tried, failed miserably. Didn't make any money. And then I had a deadline that by the next time I went to Sweden, I wanted to have 10K a month. And I wanted to be making good money and be a business owner. And this is exactly what happened, because I found an opportunity and I worked tenaciously until I made it happen. But it all starts with finding the reasons as for why and using any source of pain that comes along the way as additional fuel. Because when you start wanting things, when you start desiring things, you have to go out and do them. You have to go out and do something. And a lot of the time you're going to fail. And if you use that failure as motivation and fuel instead of a reason to quit, now you're actually ascending. For example, 3 years ago, when I was extremely shy and introverted, I've talked about this many times on my channel. I was a super shy, introverted kid who couldn't even talk to girls, let alone guys. I would still struggle with that. So what I did was I started cold approaching every single hot girl I saw. And every single time, it would become a win for me, even if the conversation was good or bad. And if it was bad, I would use that still as fuel. I would take both sides of it. I would say, well, on one angle, I need to get better as a man, because if you were truly the man, like truly the man, they wouldn't reject you and they would have wanted to, hang out with you, and they would have wanted to go out for a drink or whatever it is. And then second, I used it as pride, because I'm proud of myself for doing what I said I was going to do. So there's so many angles that you can spin this motivation. It all comes down to your mindset, though, and the way that you frame things. Because if you're just sitting here not doing anything with your life, you do your basic 9 to 5, you collect your check, and you watch TV, I can understand why you're lacking motivation. I mean, if you're just getting very comfortable, you need to start implementing pain into your life. And you can do that through healthy sources. For example, I'm currently in Sweden. It's October. It's like, doesn't get above 50 degrees in the morning. Sometimes it'd be 20, 30. And the ocean is right there. Like, I'm looking at it behind the camera. The ocean is, I don't know what it is exactly. It must be like 40 degrees. And I do an ice bath every morning for about 5 minutes. That is painful, but it's good pain. It's healthy pain. It boosts my dopamine. It helps me reset my mind. I do a meditation while I'm in there, and that pain charges me up for the day. You need to be trying to implement healthy pain. I'm not talking about anything weird, but healthy pain, and trying to find pain in life, because pain and trauma is what's going to actually allow you to push and go beyond the limits that you've set for yourself. And that's going to give you the fuel to do that. But if you're always trying to stay within your comfort zone, no growth is ever gonna occur from that. So if you're lacking motivation, the first thing you should try and do is find a why, the reason why you want to actually accomplish the thing that you want, and then you should start finding pain in your daily life, thinking about how you can cause the limiting version of yourself pain. And I'm not saying this, once again, in any way or shape or form in like a negative, suicidal, or anything like that, self-harming way. I'm saying valuable pain, like ice baths, like doing the thing that you're scared to do. If you're terrified of talking to girls like I was, going up and talking to every single girl, because that's going to cause so much turmoil within you, but you're going to overcome it. And that's where that growth comes in. If you're scared to take sales calls, start getting a sales job and taking sales calls. Go knocking door to door, even if you're scared to do so. These are the things that are going to cause you the growth and the rejections that you get, because inevitably in life, there's going to be tons of rejections, no matter what it is you pursue. In the pursuit of any desire or goal, you're going to face rejections, and you can use that pain from the rejections as additional motivation, and now you just have an upward spiral that never ends. So that is the way that I've found that's best to stay motivated. So there's a couple easy tricks, like the ones in the start, where you stop wasting your fucking seed and watching porn and jerking off. You cut out all artificial dopamine, so you stop scrolling, you stop fucking smoking weed, doing drugs. All those things are going to sap your energy. So that's the first thing you need to do, is cut out all artificial dopamine and replace it with delayed gratification. And now you have the entire motivation strategy that I just talked about for the last 7 minutes. That's going to teach you exactly how you can build an upward spiral within your life. And if you got any value from this video, please like and subscribe. Comment down below what you're going to start doing today in order to start gaining more motivation and control of your life. I'll see you guys in the next video.